Hello everybody, I'm really excited to start our next project today. As always, we're going to be creating these really fun texture rubbing owls today. How cool is that? But first, what we need to talk about is a little something about owls. So an owl is a type of bird. Here's some pictures of some owls. Okay. Did you guys know there's like 200 different types or different species of owls? They can be really small, up to about 6 inches, to like 1 to 2 feet. So that's pretty crazy. They're nocturnal. The word nocturnal means they sleep during the day and then they're up at night and they hunt. Their vision, like where they see through their eyes, is actually binocular vision. So they're not really eyes, they're like tubes that help them to see down from up in the sky down at their prey. So they're really good hunters. Now we know that prey is the food they eat. They're a predator. Now, when they eat their food, they eat anything like mice, snakes, worms, small birds, even some other owls they'll eat, like smaller ones. And what they do, and rabbits as well, they swallow their prey whole, and then they regurgitate, which that's another word for throw up or puke, but they'll get rid of everything their bellies can't digest when they regurgitate it, and that would be like any bones, feathers, stuff like that. So it comes out in the form of a small ball. They call them owl pellets. I know it's kind of gross, but it's kind of interesting too, isn't it though? It totally is. Now, also, they can rotate their head 270 degrees. Now, full turn of your head, like if you could turn it all the way around, would be 360 degrees. So they're pretty close. That is insane. So let's get started. We're going to grab your supplies. I'm going to go through that next, and we'll get working. Okay, so to get started, we'll need to gather up your supplies. We're going to need some sheets of cardboard. You can get that from any boxes you have laying around the house, maybe like cereal boxes that are empty. If you don't have cardboard, a thicker piece of paper or like a cardstock would be really good to use. You're going to need some type of glue. I'm using a hot glue gun, but if you're a kid, you're going to need an adult to do that if you have one at home. If you don't have a hot glue gun or a parent or somebody to help you, you can use an Elmer's glue. You'll just have to wait like a second day. It'll take you 2 days to do the project because the glue will have to dry. But I'll be using a hot glue gun. You're going to need a piece of paper. So you're going to need crayons. I'm going to be using a marker to draw today, but you could use a pencil, one or the other or both. You're going to also need some watercolor paint. I'm using some bright ones today, but whatever you have on hand is good. And then you're also going to need a paintbrush and a cup of water for this. So I'm going to start with the first step. And the first step is what we're going to be doing is creating our texture plates. Texture plates. Now, so I'm going to take a piece of cardboard, and when my glue gun is all ready, what I'm just doing is just drawing lines or shapes or whatever I want all over the board. And this glue, when it dries, is going to give it a texture. And remember, texture is the way something feels or looks like it feels. So I'm going to start with, now if you're using an Elmer's glue bottle, you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to kind of draw with your glue bottle. So you'll squeeze and draw with it. So what I'm doing now, I'm just kind of doing like zigzag lines on mine, but I'm going to do the same. It's like I'm creating a pattern with my glue gun. So this glue is raised and it's going to create that texture later that you can feel. So I'm just going to do that all the way down. You could also do things like take a piece of cardboard and glue like popsicle sticks on it, all over it, or toothpicks all over it, maybe pennies. Those things will also give you texture because remember, we're going to be doing texture rubbings with paper on top, and then you color with the crayons. So whatever's going to create texture. You can even go around your house and look for things that have texture that you can put your paper on and rub on. We'll go over that too. So let me just show you with the glue bottle. So if you were using the Elmer's glue bottle, you would just squeeze and draw with the glue. Now, so there's one texture rubbing plate. Now I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do a few different. This one I'm going to do like polka dots. And I'm not going to worry if there's like random strings of the glue. It just adds more texture. I'm okay with that. Now, when you're doing this with a hot glue gun, you'll go through a lot of glue sticks just to kind of give you a heads up. But remember, these hot glue guns can be dangerous because they can burn you. So they have to be used by an adult. Or if the adult you're with is okay with you using it, they have to assist you, because you touch this hot glue or the end of the glue gun, it will burn you and it hurts really bad. So you don't want to be touching it. Like I said, you really want an adult to do it. That makes it a lot safer. But like I said, if you don't have an adult, just use the Elmer's glue. Create your plates today, and then tomorrow you can come back to the video and you can then do the rest of the project once the glue is dried on the boards. Okay, so there's that one. Now, ooh, I'm gonna do a fun little scribbly one. I love making texture plates. Okay. And now I have one more to do, and I think with this one, I'm just gonna do some lines like this. I'm not going to worry about any specific reason. So, if I made my, oh, there's my doggies in the background playing. So now, once I finish all my texture rubbing plates, I would do at least 2 different. I'm going to let those, because I use the hot glue, I'm going to let those cool and dry all the way. If you used an Elmer's glue, you're going to want to wait quite a while until that's dry. And you'll be able to tell. It doesn't really, might not necessarily take a whole day, but just go back and kind of touch up the spot and see if it's dry. All right, so let those dry and we'll come back to those. Now, while my texture plates are drying, I'm going to draw my owl. So we're going to do that step by step together. I'm using a black Sharpie marker, and I don't want it to go through on my counter. So I'm going to put something underneath, like another piece of paper. In this case, I'm putting a piece of cardboard. Okay, so there's my cardboard. And I want to draw my owl nice and, you know, pretty good size. So what I'm going to do step by step together for the drawing, we're going to start by doing a straight line somewhere towards the top here. We're going to do a straight horizontal line across, not all the way, in the middle a little bit. Don't make it too small. Okay, now I'm going to do a diagonal line that kind of forms the top of a triangle. So I'm going to go up and then down like this. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So like that. Okay. Now I'm going to come from the bottom of the one. These are going to be, they kind of look like ears on an owl, but they're more like the way the feathers are on the top of their head. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to come over and then up. So this is going to be the head of our owl. Now, in the middle, I'm going to draw my 2 eyes. So I'm going to draw, now owls have really big eyes. So I'm going to draw a nice big circle on each side with a little bit of a smaller circle on the inside. Like that. And then I'm going to draw a little triangle for the beak, like that. Now to continue the body, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to draw a line that kind of curves down like that on this side. And then I'm going to do another one that curves slightly on that side. Now for our little feet, I'm going to do some U's, one here, and leave a space and do one here. And then I'm going to put the little 2 vertical lines underneath and then an upside down V on those for the feet. Now I'm going to continue the bottom by making a line here. You know, kind of follow that line you did, come up over here, like that. Now we're going to make some wings to the side. So I'm going to make a curved line under the head to this side, and then the same thing on this side, like that. Beautiful. So now we've drawn our owl. Okay, so now all my texture plates are cooled and dried. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna choose one. I'm gonna put, let's see, I think we'll do this. Let's see, which one do I wanna do? I think we're gonna do this scribbly one. And I'm gonna put it under my paper. And what I'm doing is I'm gonna color the head. So I want this texture to come on, but not over my eyes or my beak. So I set my texture there underneath. And then I choose a color. Now, these are owls, and typically owls are like your browns and your grays. You can do any kind of owl, any color you want. I'm going to make mine really fun. So I'm going to take a turquoise, and what I do, I take my crayon, and I just color right on the head. Do you see that texture coming through? So remember how I said texture is the way something feels or looks like it feels. So I can see that texture coming through. And this is what a rubbing plate is. You're rubbing over the paper to get that texture from underneath. Look at that fun texture. Now, the harder you kind of press, the more you'll see that texture. I might go around it a little bit more, like that. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Now I'm going to do another texture. This time, I think I'm going to do this zigzag texture, and I want it to be on the main part of the body in the middle. And I can put more than one texture in the body too, but I think I'm just going to do the zigzag on here. Let's see. I think I need to start it this time. I'm going to turn it that way to fit. And now I think I'm going to use purple. I like those dark colors. And once again, I'm just going to color. Look at that texture coming through. Isn't that cool? Now I don't want to go into the wings. I'm actually going to make the wings a different color. Now my paper's not quite, it's a little long for the cardboard, so if I can just kind of move the paper up a little bit, might come off on the texture a little. I'm gonna go in here. Oopsie. That's all right. Isn't that cool? Now I'm going to do some polka dots for my wings. So I'm going to put the polka dots underneath. I'm going to choose another color, and I think this time I'm going to do some yellow. Which you guys probably won't see my polka dots too well, I guess. That's okay. Try to get it on there. I should use a darker color, but that's okay. All right, you get the idea. You still see some texture in there. How fun is that? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color my beak and my eyes. So I am doing some orange on my beak, which you can do, certainly make it whatever color you want. A lot of times owls have a little bit of a yellow. Now what I want to do, I'm going to draw, I'm leaving a little white spot because it'll kind of look like a reflection a little bit on our owl. So I leave a little area of white in the corner there. I'll do the same thing on this side, make like a circle. Go around it like that. Okay, now I'm going to do the black for the rest of the eye. Oopsie. Breaking my crayons over here, guys. That. I'm going to make a little outline on that circle. And there's my owl. Look at how cute that is. Now I'm going to get out the paint and paint over this. What we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a watercolor or crayon resist. So because of the wax and the crayon and the watercolor paint, they resist each other. So when you paint over of the crayon, it will pop through. So I'm going to wet my brush. Always give my brush a bath before using watercolor paints. In this case, especially because it's cake form. So splish splash, give your brush a bath. Like that. And then I'm going to dip it in a color. And I think what I'm going to do for this one is get some green. And I'm going to go right over that turquoise. See how that's like showing through? I think I chose a little bit of a large brush, but that's okay. So get in there. Like that. Rinse that brush off. Splish, splash, give that brush a bath. Every time you change color, boys and girls, remember, always give your brush a bath so that you don't ruin the colors for everybody else. Now I'm gonna take some pink. I'm gonna go right over the purple. Look at that. And that kind of settles into the cracks. Give my brush another bath. Splish, splash, give my brush a bath. All right, now I'm gonna take some orange. I'm gonna go over the yellow areas. Oops, got a little mix there. Look at how cool that is. Now, for my background, I can paint whatever color I want. I can leave it white. It's totally up to you. Mine's gonna get messy. I think I'm gonna do, should I do boys and girls? Let's see. Got all the colors here. Maybe a blue. Look at that. Oh, I'm just gonna do a very, I'm not gonna make it really dark. I'm just kind of doing a little bit of this lightly all over the background. You can do whatever you like. Isn't this pretty? Just light. Now, I chose to use a thin paper for this project. I'm using like a printer paper just so that I could really get those textures to come out good. You can really use any white paper you have, but I like this. It just doesn't maybe paint quite as well. All right, so there we go. Look at how cute. And there you have it, guys. You finished your owl. We'll see you next week for the next project. Bye.